Yeah, so the story thus far is that Ratchet, who is poorly written in this game, was like, man, fuck being a hero. I don't want to do that anymore. We're just going to hang out and relax. That's somebody else's problem now. And then a fan or something, this little girl, she's like taking pictures and she's just like, oh, will you do some heroic stuff for me? And Ratchet's like, I'm a Giga Chad. I'll do anything for attention. And so we just started wandering around. Robot showed up and kidnapped the little girl, and the only lead we have to find the little girl is fairy tale little people.
To pick up Gadgetbots, aim at them and press the circle button.
Like the way that they're described, the technomites is what they're called. Is it's a fairy tale that parents tell their children to explain how technology works, which I think is a really interesting idea of like for like folklore in a high science fiction
Press
world.
the triangle button to exit the bot flinger.
I think that's a very interesting concept for like science fiction folklore. Yeah, it's cute. I like it. I think it's real neat. But oh my god, please turn around. You are not Giant Clank. Why do you control like it? There. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I think it's a cute idea, but Ratchet, being poorly written in this game, is like, that's stupid, Clank. If you think that those things are real, you're stupid. And then Captain Cork was also there, and he's like, I am a child at heart. I believe in these silly fairy tales. And Ratchet's like, well, you're also stupid. We're gonna go do this, but I'm gonna be mad about it. I just really don't like how Ratchet's written in this game. He's written like really cool Ratchet. He's written like Ratchet in the very first game when he was played by Mikey Kelly. Like, he feels too cool for everybody. Very epic of you to own those nerds with facts and logic. Yeah, he feels really standoffish. You know, like, he was like, man, I hate saving people now. That's my character. And Clank is okay in terms of like being written. Clank still feels like the smartest person in the room, but he kind of talks down to some people. Like he really babies Quark, which it's interesting. I don't think Quark is poorly handled in this game. He's always been kind of incompetent, but he's never been like a baby, and they treat him like a baby in this game. Like they talk real slow and they spell things out for him, and it feels very condescending. I have no idea who Quark is. Big green guy. He's in almost every Ratchet and Clank game. Antenna, three fingers on each hand. The idea of the character is that he was a like galactic superhero. He was kind of somebody who Ratchet idolized in the first game. I've never played Rabbit and Clunk. All good. My fault for assuming you would know. So the character is very interesting and has evolved over the course of the games. It started as somebody that Ratchet idolized in the first game, but it turns out in the first game we learned that he is kind of a sellout and was actually helping the villain because, if the villain pulls off their thing, it'll be like a big publicity push for the comeback of this galactic hero. Like, there's marketing opportunities, I guess. So he was like, I need this to go well for me. So I'm going to stop Ratchet and Clank. So Ratchet's, superhero idol all of a sudden became a villain in, like, the first game, which I thought was really interesting. And then in the second game, he kind of was the main villain. And then in the third game, they, for some reason, forgot about all of the heinous things he did in another galaxy, and they were like, oh yeah, no, he's cool. He's a galactic hero. He's a treasure. We love him. He's always been vaguely incompetent, never good enough to kind of be a leader, but they keep putting him in leadership roles, which is fun. I always appreciate the incompetent leader when they're not an asshole. Like, Quark is just oblivious. He doesn't know what's going on half the time, and that's kind of endearing. But, like, he's almost like a Zap Brannigan from Futurama, without being sexist. Hello? One of my little... Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I like it. I like his character a lot. One of my little dudes just fell through the floor. Let's hope he's waiting down there for me. Oh, there he is. Okay. So yeah, Captain Quark's, his whole MO in this game, like his character arc, is he wants to find his family. He was given up for adoption when he was a baby, and, he wants to find his family. Which is, it's alright as a concept. I'm not super in love with it, but it's enough to kind of flesh him out and give him something to do in this game. Am I missing one? I'm missing one. God damn it. Okay. Son of a bitch. These guys remind me of, like... So in 2003 Ninja Turtles, right? There were these robot chicken things with sharp teeth. Do you mean the the end? Do you mean the like the oh, there's my little guy. 2003, like the cartoon? The oh god, what was that on, like the Kids WB or something? 4Kids? Yeah. Please come here. Will you not? Oh my god, do I really have to escort you all the way down? Alright, little dude, let's go. Yeah, I like these little... They've gone by different names throughout the games. My generation's turtles. Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, that would have been the Ninja Turtles around... See, I only really got into Ninja Turtles a little later in life. When I was a kid, like when I was that age, around 2003, 2005, I was into the Justice League cartoon, Teen Titans, and Transformers. That was my shit. God damn it, my little guy. Okay. But when it came to Ninja Turtles, I grew up with, where did he go? What? Okay, there he is. I grew up with the 90s live action movies. What was that 91? No. 89? I was super into them as a kid. They were green reptile dudes with swords. I mean, yeah, the Ninja Turtles are awesome. I never really got into the comics, but also my uncle had toys of them that I inherited. I had Ninja Turtle toys, but I can't remember if they were from anything in particular or if they were just like a release of Ninja Turtle toys. But I had some weird ones. I had this sucker guy with a sucker face, teeth painted on him. He was rad. Sucker guy with a sucker face, teeth painted on. See, I love TMNT characters, so I'm trying to think about who that could be. Because he was literally just big leech guy. That's awesome. I never fucking saw him in the show. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of one-off, I never saw him in the show, I just had him. He's just here. It's, yeah, you know, it's Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder, and, this guy. The classics. You remember Fugitoid? You remember the robot? I fucking love the robot. I had a toy for the robot Fugitoid, and I really liked him. I think he had a cool design. I liked. I'm pretty sure it was 2003 Fugitoid. Thank God the Clank section's over.
Ratchet. How do we know this whole place won't explode when you put that on there? We do not. See, I told you. Big waste of time.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Ratchet. Look, Ratchet, it worked. It's not all hooey anyway. I probably haven't watched Turt since I was 7. What, you didn't watch the Michael Bay movies?
Whoa. This is so cool. What do you think it is?
It is a technomite map room. They built these rooms to keep track of the planets they inhabited. This one is Caladon.
Hey, that's where that robot
Forgot those
soldier
existed.
said was taking the girl.
Exactly. And here are its coordinates. I have never seen these coordinates on any other maps.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go get her.
Suggestive memory. I deliberately forgot those existed. Alright. Let's get the hell out of here. All missions completed. Nice. Off to Caladon. Oh, something else this game does that I like is it kind of bring back the... It does bring back the weapon modification system from 2, which I was a huge fan of, except instead of costing the collectible bolts, it's just worth like normal bolts. You can just find the weapon mod vendor.
Does not seem right. It has been too easy.
Easy? How's about I ride around on your back while you do all the fighting?
I mean that if
What an
the
asshole!
want to stay hidden, they are making it awfully easy for us to find them.
I did it! I found my real family! I was poking around on the computer when I got a message from some company called FauxFamily.com. It's my entire family tree! I've gotta get to them! Good luck with whatever that was you were doing.
FauxFamily.com? Does that seem odd to you?
Oh, family.
At least he's out of here. Let's get moving.
That space car looks exactly like the one in Lilo with the Switch, I swear. Jesus Christ, his teeth. That's a good shout. The Lilo and Stitch hot rod. I was thinking it looks like a big clown shoe, is what I said before. I'm not a huge fan of this ship design. Wow, Ratchet is an asshole. Yeah, he's not great. It does look like a big clown shoe. I think it's fun. Like, I hate it. It's probably my least favorite of every ship design in Ratchet and Clank. This one is my least favorite. At least they tried something different. It just does not work. Alright. Let's... So yeah, FauxFamily.com. Quark definitely found his family on a sketchy website. There's something about having websites in Ratchet and Clank that feels weird to me. Going to FauxFamily.com. God, I remember I had a Stitch PS2 game that was like a prequel. You go to other planets and kill shit. That is exactly what I want. Like, I don't want to... If I were to get... if there were to be a like big new Lilo and Stitch game, like if they ever do like a live action remake of that, which I think they're talking about doing, a live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. I would want it to be a game with Experiment 626, not Stitch, Experiment 626. Give me the feral little blue child. Buy some ammo. Ooh, flamethrower, good. Oh god, I don't want a Lilo and Stitch reboot, please no. The original is so good. I like most of the fun fact about uh Lilo and weird connection between Ratchet and Clank and Lilo and Stitch. The villain of Lilo and Stitch, Gantu, big elephant leg guy, he is the same voice actor for the villain of the first Ratchet and Clank game, Chairman Drek. And it's pretty much the same voice that he uses, which I think is super cool. Amazing. Uh but yeah, I'm pretty sure space villain voice, exactly. Uh yeah, no, it's great. Uh but I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere cuz I think cuz Lilo and Stitch I think did okay at the box office. I don't think I don't think it reviewed critically amazing. It's just one of those like, yeah, this is a Disney movie from the early to mid 2000s. You know what to expect. Kind of like Treasure Planet. You know, Treasure Planet got very mixed reviews, even though that movie is objectively really good. Like, mixing... Treasure Planet does an amazing job of mixing CGI with cell animation, in my opinion. Or, I guess it isn't cell animation. I guess it isn't strictly cell animation, but it is like, frame by frame, you know, I don't know, drawn on computer. I remember the weird marketing. I personally think that these live action Disney remakes shouldn't be remaking the big popular ones like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. All of the Disney characters being scared of Stitch. Oh yeah, it would just be like scenes from old Disney movies, like the ballroom scene from Beauty and the Beast, but then the chandelier, like he's undoing the screws on the chandelier. Jungle Book reboot was unwarranted. Yeah, like all these big popular Disney movies those are the ones that they were redoing. Like you don't need to remake Lion King. Lion King already made $1 billion. What they need to do is remake the ones that weren't super well received the first time and then maybe fix them, tweak them, bring them to a new audience. I would absolutely love a live action remake of Atlantis. Atlantis the Lost Empire from like 2001, 2002 is like my favorite Disney movie, full stop. I love that movie. However, from what I remember, it was considered like I hated the main character in that movie. But now imagine if you casted like Tom Holland in that role instead of Michael J. Fox's voice. Tom Holland is a very charismatic young man. I fucking love me some Tom Holland. Uh, but from what I remember, that movie was considered like really drawn out. You know, like it's kind of this meandering adventure. Things are only like half explained. But if you were to give it like a 2-hour runtime with big Disney budget, I feel like it could be a legitimately great adventure movie. Can I please? Oh, is this the only mod? Okay. I saw the 2 icons and I thought they were different mods. I don't need a lock-on mod for this. Okay, fuck this guy.
Tweaking the old engine, eh? Why?
Look at this furry bait.
What are you doing here? Did the committee send you? Sorry, sir. We did not mean to upset you. Yeah, well, you know, you can't be too careful these days, right? I mean, first they accuse me of using nanoroids, right? Then they say I'm like I'm using illegal alternative fuel. Do I look like a cheater to you?
No. Not at all. You seem A-okay to me.
All right, here, man. Let's race. And I'll prove I'm not a cheater. If you can beat me, I'll have a surprise for you.
That guy really looks bad for a Ratchet and Clank design. Like, he's just a lion with a, like, magenta ponytail. He looks like a character that could have fallen out of the Extremely Goofy movie. Nope. Come on, let me get a good look at him. Yeah, this guy just fell out of the Extremely Goofy movie. Speaking of early to mid 2000s Disney movies. Like, this is a background character that Max would have seen at his campus. Awful stuff. He looks like hitting the random button on the ancient Sonic OC Flash creator. Yes! He does! Okay, time for some of the worst this is the worst racing Ratchet and Clank has ever had. This controls like absolute dog dirt. I can feel the jank from here. Yeah. The thing is, so in the other racing things in Ratchet and Clank, the idea is that, or the way that it controls, it's very overstimulating. With how racing worked in other Ratchet and Clank games, it was very like the game will automatically propel you forward. All you have to do is just, lean left or right to change direction. This, you can just turn sideways. You can just straight up turn to the side. There is no forward momentum. How did the ramp ejected me sideways because there is no forward in this. It's bad. Oh, God. So, yeah, the game will... I could just go sideways through the whole race. God, what the hell? Exactly! This is... Something that is also kind of counterintuitive to some Ratchet and Clank racing is they encourage you to get big air, so you can do, like, 6 stunts and stuff and get, like, boosts. This, it is absolutely detrimental to stay in the air for too long. You can just hit the boost button on the ground and be so much better off. There's no momentum at all. It's actually kind of fucky. You're so floaty. It's like you're falling. Exactly. The boost button is also the fly button, which feels bad. You have won the race. And there's like 2 mandatory races in the game.
You'd give us something if we beat you?
This is a shrink ray. They are very difficult to acquire. Here, man. You can have these too. They're way too slippery for me to use.
Grind boots. Cool, I just have another set of grind boots. Let's not do any of that bullshit. Oh. Thanks, chin guy. Man, it took a lot out of me to do that race. I completely forgot. What were we talking about? Disney remakes? On the whole, I think they're a bad idea because Disney money. It took a lot out of me to watch that race. Look, I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best. It's the game that's the problem. Wait, is there something down here? Is there something I'm missing down here? Oh, they're just for money. There's some, like, way later on. So the cool thing about this game, here, I can show it again. Armor sets, you get individual pieces of armor, and then you can swap things around and find, like, secret armor sets that give you, like, good boosts and stuff. The last couple races, whenever you see this guy, are always worth, like, a piece of armor. There's a lot of it's very clear to me that there's no revisiting for the sake of art. No. But what's interesting and very frustrating about trying to 100% this game, first of all, the controls of the fucking races, but some armor pieces are only available on the first playthrough in, like, those races and mini games. When you do New Game Plus, it's different armor pieces. So you can just not get a piece of armor. And it's really annoying. It's revisiting for the sake of that one guy who watched that one video on the internet about Beauty and the Beast having plot hole Stockholm Syndrome. Wow, that shitty illogical movie. Yeah. I mean, like, in terms of revisiting for the sake of art for those Disney movies, like I said, find the ones that didn't do great critically. Tweak them. What did critics not like about it? You can fix it, and then I think I'm swinging for the fences here. What if they remade Oliver and Company, but used the technology from the live-action Cats movie? What if? Hear me out. Disney, I accept checks. I think that's a great idea. CinemaSins and Nostalgia Critic ruined the concept of a critique for a while. Yeah. I don't know how I remember where so many of these bolts are. I've not played this game in years. I think with the landscape of it's the trauma memory. I think with the landscape of the internet, kind of how it is, and how accessible, you know, recording technology is, and, you know, YouTube and stuff, there's just so much saturation on the critics, like the critical end. There's, like, such an oversaturation of critics. There's a band I like called Cage the Elephant, and they have a line in the song that says, oh, what is that? We are an entire population of critics with no painters to be a fan of. Where have all the storytellers gone? And I agree with that wholeheartedly, in that, as a creative, there are so many people with so many opinions on art, and there's very few people, at least, you know, and this is also like an exponential growth in terms of artists. It's just not as... The frequency is not as great as critics. It just feels like there's a million more critics than there are creatives anymore. And that's very disheartening as a creative. I feel like everything I do is always looked, you know, down the barrel of this critical lens. That you know, with so many critics, you can't please everybody. And all of a sudden it's become much, much harder to please at least a majority of people. Shit sucks. Hang on. Can I increase the audio? Cool, the sound effects and the voices are part of the same track. So I can't just increase the voices. Oh my god, please let the... I just realized at the end of this world there's a boss fight. Please let there be a... I mean, I'll be honest. I'm glad I watched Nostalgia Critic when I was young. He introduced me to a lot of shit I wouldn't have known about otherwise. But the actual critique is like shit I thought when I was an edgy, cynical 14-year-old. Yeah. There's... I feel like certain people like that whose career, like people whose YouTube career has spanned a majority of YouTube, uh it's very much... how do I articulate this? They got big because of, you know, obviously their audience, people who watched them, those people being kids at the time. Kids were way into YouTube. That was like, at least for me, that was a lot of, you know, content I consumed on YouTube. I personally never watched Nostalgia Critic, but like those people have the same sense of humor as those kids, or at least the sense of humor of those people clicked with those kids. So if they don't grow as a person over the course of their career and they just keep what is, you know, bankable for them, that sense of humor, you know, it's kind of cringe, like, as you get older, you know. For me, yeah, but when I was a kid, I wasn't popular among people my age at all. They barely knew about it, really, which was so weird to think about. Oh, yeah, yeah, I think you're right. There's a stage where you feel yourself growing out of it. Oh, yeah, there's, I'm trying to think of an example. Probably my example would be JonTron. Like, I remember early JonTron, and I was like, yeah, this is my flavor. And now, you know, and maybe it's because, like, that channel also kind of went... That channel and that guy kind of went in a direction I was not vibing with. So... I remember bowing out of the JonTron fan community. And I think that... I think that stemmed from, I've also been a Game Grumps fan from, like, year one. Like, back when John was on Game Grumps. Yeah, I think some of that humor would still hold up for me if it wasn't tainted by, you know. Yeah, yeah, you know. But even, like, Game Grumps. Game Grumps is a great example of, like, people trying to change, you know, because early Game Grumps can be yikes. The no filter, you know, Wild West humor of the internet that was 2012, 2013. 2013. 2012. 2012 was when Game Grumps started. Yeah, I love the compilations of, like, here. I was a fan from pretty early on too. I remember, it's one of those, like, as a like an early fan, I feel like there's a lot of egg on my face for, like, the compilations that are like, here's a compilation of every time Aaron Hansen has said a slur. You know, there's that... It's one of those things where, like, God, yeah. But, like, watching it now, they're very conscious of their past and, you know, things that they said weren't okay, but, you know, it's like... They're also very vocal about, like, hey, let me grow from that, you know. That was something I said a decade ago. Please let me grow as a person and not be that way anymore. Which I think is commendable, you know? Because humor in the 2000s to 2010s was, oof. Yeah, I think Aaron Hansen has generally become a better content creator and a more... Oh, damn it. A more conscious person, from at least what he's putting out there. But yeah, 2010, edgy and offensive. I gotta tell you, it was awesome when, like, when, like, that sense of humor was changing. It was it was great looking back on some things that I watched fondly to be like, oh no, wait, that wasn't cool. Rest in peace, me, I guess. The only thing that's still offensive at times that I genuinely still watch and adore is Venture Brothers. The first 2 seasons of Venture Brothers don't handle some subject matter well, and the creators have gone on record saying that like they don't like how it was handled as well. And they were very quick to change it in season 3. Like, they put forward, I think, in, like, season 3, like, commentary on themselves saying, like, hey, we're not going to use this kind of language anymore. Which I think is super commendable. Jump off the elevator. Oh, shit. But why did that happen? Why did the elevator break? Can I go back up? Huh? Okay. Wait, what did activating that... What? Oh, shit. This is a platforming section. Come on. Let's... Wait, what? Where am I going? Where's the platform? God. This is almost as bad. No, you know, this is... Yeah, this is almost as bad as the rising... The rising water puzzle from... Or chase, I guess, from Jak and Daxter 1. This speaks for itself. Never really hardcore. It was never hardcore red pill bullshit. I just left high school before I met some people and realized that phase was stupid, actually. Yeah, no, I have found recently, like, I have found recently, and I'm willing to cop to this. I'm willing to speak to this. I realized very recently I still had some like residual, just from my upbringing, I had some residual biases kind of in my head, just kind of like a thought process that I had, that were, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, kind of bigoted. Like, I said something to a friend and they were like, do you actually, you know, think X, Y, and Z? And I thought about it and I realized the way I was thinking was, it was dumb and hypocritical and like, and this happened maybe like 2 weeks ago. I realized, and I feel like everybody should be allowed to grow and change as a, you know, be allowed to grow and change from their experiences. But like, that was one of those eye-opening moments of like saying it out loud. I realized, oh, this is fucking stupid that I think this way. I don't know, because it's, you know, it was one of those things that, like, you never just really think about. Like, it hardly ever comes up. But then, like, the one time it did, I was like, oh, wait, this is dumb. I haven't had to think about this since high school, and high school me was also dumb, I guess. I was, like, dealing with my own shit in a not healthy way. Is what it, like, the long and the short of it was I was dealing with some unhealthy shit. So I think realizing that and being able to cop to it, being able to grow as a person like that, like, I'm not holding it against myself, you know. I mean, yeah, I still have intrusive thoughts that are shitty. and not what I actually believe or think. Oh yeah, no, intrusive thoughts are the worst. Like, I mostly have like intrusive thoughts that are, I'll say it, I have very like uh self-harm inducing intrusive thoughts like daily, but like I know that's bullshit. You know, it's never anything I would act on, but just the fact that like, you know, those thoughts are still coming up. You know, I've been out of high school for years. You know, it's almost been like it's almost been a decade since I've been out of high school. I mean, I'm still in school. I'm graduating soon, but you know what I mean. You know, I've been having these kinds of intrusive thoughts for, you know, a fucking decade now, and it's bullshit that it's still happening. I realize it's bullshit, but you know, recognizing them and recognizing that they're bullshit, you know, it takes a lot out of me, but I feel better about myself for not worry not it's not that I don't worry about the intrusive thoughts. It's just that recognizing that they're intrusive thoughts and that they're not indicative of my clear mental state. That is very important to me. Is recognizing the intrusive thoughts for what they are. I'm glad you're able to realize that. Thank you. I don't know. It might be something It's one of those things where I feel like, for posterity, for my own sake, I might want to kind of record some things, like how the last couple years have been for me. Kind of, you know, finding my place in the world as a human being. Dealing with... God. But I also don't want to, like... I'm also worried of the inevitability of, like, you know, in 5 years there might be something I'm super embarrassed of. Or... I don't know. Like, I feel like for the sake of posterity, I need to write something down, or I need to record myself saying something for me. I feel deep down, so I'm okay talking about this. In high school I had body, and I still, to this day, I have body dysmorphia, and that sort of spiraled into this gender dysphoria, and I'm gender fluid. I'm totally cool speaking to this. It's conversations I've not had with some people, but I'm gender fluid, and that comes out in like weird ways for me. How I express my gender can be like weird at times, or, you know, outside of the binary. Like, I guess a more critical way of speaking about it would be I'm gender non-conforming, but gender fluid as a descriptor feels better for me. That's just how I choose to express my gender. But, you know, saying it and like trying to articulate my thoughts and how I feel, it's still a process, and it's going to be a process, but I feel like it might be important for somebody. Like, I wish I had known so much more about myself in like high school, you know? I wish that I wish I had known myself so much better when I was younger. And I feel like talking about it, putting something out there for somebody, and how I deal with it, how I'm expressing it, might help them in some way. And if I can help somebody not struggle as much by expressing my struggle with gender identity, then I feel like it will all be worth it. Like, my issues... If my issues can be like a warning for other people, then some good might be able to come from it. That was a lot. That was a lot. I'm sorry. We're playing the funny space cat game. And that got heavy. Absolutely. It took me a really long time to work out my feelings about being trans, internal transphobia, homophobia, lashing out at other groups of people that aren't the cause of your problems. It's hard. It's very hard. I'm pretty chill about it now for a while. A lot of turmoil. Oh, I'm out of ammo for everything. Okay. Cool. That's fine. Alright, boss fight time. Awful. I'm gonna need something... Sure. Oh my god, I just realized all this time, Dragonath. I know you've brought up that you're trans before, but I didn't even stop to think about pronouns. I am so sorry. I just realized I never. Oh my god. What are your pronouns? I've always just been using they them in my head, but he him, right on. I've been consciously trying to use they them for a lot of people in chat that I don't know, but the fact that you are trans and vocal about being trans, I want to respect, you know, the gender identity that you found for yourself. So yeah, this is the boss fight, Mungo. I don't know what he's about. They never really explain what Mungo is about. I've always liked his design. He's kind of goofy. I have no idea. I wouldn't have told you I was trans if I didn't feel like it was safe to do so. I want people to feel safe. I want this to be a safe place for everybody, you know, and the second any kind of... I've had weird run-ins on Twitch, and I'm trying to, like, distance myself from those corners. You know, I want this to be a safe space for everybody. I want everybody to feel welcome, which is why, like, at the end of all of my streams, I want to practice what I preach with that, you know, the be good, be kind, and treating people the way you want to be treated. That isn't just me blowing hot air. I genuinely want people to feel safe. I want people to be good to each other. And which is why, like, oh, hang on. Nice, Clank.
Wow.
R2-D2 ass head.
You are so heroic. I never introduced myself. My name is Luna.
Well, Luna, we should leave before any bad guys show up.
But I haven't had a chance
I want
to
people
tell
to be
my
kind and
friends
rewind.
about your heroic deeds.
You mean your friends, right?
Ratchet, that is very insensitive.
No, I mean friends. They will be surprised it was so easy to capture such stupendous...
Is that Joan from Clone High?
Very good, Luna. Now try.
Is that Joan from Clone High?
Hey, he was just trying to help.
You've both been very helpful. The cameras that have been following you have captured your every move. And now, we have the information we need.
We?
Yeah, we got him. This was just too easy.
Cool. So... this loading screen! Oh my god! He's just vibing! Oh my god, they're sending him to hell.